Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The internet. It is something that many of us are already familiar with. Thanks to it, communication becomes as easy as pressing some buttons on a virtual keyboard. Information is now never more than a few clicks away. Its improvements, with things like better servers, multifunctionality, and AI integration, make it ever so closer to being a key part in our daily life. How could that possibly endanger us? Hello, my brothers and sisters. My name is Qoffan Zain Zaidan from 11th grade Senior High Bintang Pelajar Islamic boarding school, and I'm here to warn you all about the dangers of the internet for us righteous Muslims. The internet, like most other things, is a double-edged sword. People could use it for good or for bad. To show you what I mean, I'm going to list off a few examples. With the internet, you have access to everything. You have access to a myriad of useful information, data, and lessons from which you could learn and explore various things. On the other hand, you also have access to all the illegal websites, all the rumors, all the hoaxes that could drag you down to a pit of despair and sin. Another example, using the internet, you can talk to anyone. You could learn things from your teacher, discuss things with your friends, consult with a doctor, and more. But you can also talk and, na'udhu flirt with brothers and sisters who are not your mahram, which is a terrible sin, as stated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Isra, verse 32. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا إِنَّهُ كَانَ فَاحِشَةً وَسَاءَ سَبِيلًا. Do not go near zina. It is truly a shameful deed and an evil way. From that verse alone, we could see that even going near zina is a terrible sin. And this act is made even easier with social media apps like WhatsApp and Instagram, if used improperly. Those were only two of the many examples of internet misuse. I could go on, but then this speech would be 40 minutes long and nobody has time for that, right? Now, you might be saying to yourself, oh man, that sounds really bad, but surely there's a way out of that bad stuff, right? And you would be correct. And as with anything else, the solution is Allah. My brothers and sisters, Allah is always watching our every move, good or bad, 24/7. This can be seen in Surah Al-Hujurat, verse 18. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Inna Allah ya'lamu ghaiba as-samawati wal ard. Wallahu basirun bima ta'malun. Surely Allah knows the unseen of the heavens and earth, and Allah is all-seeing of what you do. If we acknowledge that Allah is all-seeing towards what we all do, then we would of course be afraid to sin under the watchful gaze of our Creator, and thus we would avoid using the internet for terrible things. Picture this. If your browser history got leaked, would you be ashamed? What if I told you that it is already leaked? To who? To Allah, our Creator, our Maker, our God. Better watch what you search, because Allah already is. Another way to protect ourselves from the evils of the internet is by staying true to our identity as Muslims. Sadly, many of our brothers and sisters fall into the trap of trying to imitate the kafir as a way to look cool and trendy on the internet. I fear that this behavior might endanger our status as Muslims, because as said by Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man tashabbaha biqawmin fahuwa minhum." Whoever resembles a group of people becomes a part of them. Do you want to be a part of the kafir? No, right? And that is exactly why we have to stay strong, true, and proud of our identity as Muslims, both on the internet and, of course, in real life. After hearing me talk all this negativity about the internet, you might be a bit scared to use it now. But don't throw away your phones just yet, because you're going to need it to grow your very own virtue farm. Yes, you heard me right, a virtue farm. And I'm going to show you exactly how to grow one using your handheld mobile device. The main principle of this virtue farm is al-mujariyah. Basically, if you teach someone something beneficial and they apply that knowledge, then the virtues that they gain will also be transferred to you. This is explained in a hadith from Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Idza mata al-insanu qata'a 'alamahu illa min thalatha, illa min sadaqatin jariyah aw ilmin yanfa'u bih aw waladin salihin yad'u lahu." When a person dies, their deeds come to an end except for three things: ongoing charity, beneficial knowledge, and a righteous child that prays for them. Among the deeds stated in that hadith was beneficial knowledge, and that is the point that we'll be focusing on in this virtue farm. Today, anyone can share any kind of information they want with ease through social media. Therefore, instead of spreading useless information, why not spread some actually beneficial knowledge, like dua, hadith, Islamic stories, motivation, da'wah, and more. The list is endless and the choice is yours. Plus, according to the principle of ilm jariyah, if someone applies the knowledge that you shared, they'll get virtues and you'll get virtues too. That is a win-win situation. The best part about it? The content you share doesn't even have to be yours. Even a simple repost of another person's da'wah still adds up to your virtue farm. Just don't forget to ask for permission to repost their work, of course. With all that said, we've reached the end of my speech. What did we learn today? Well, let's do a quick recap. First, we learned that the internet has a good side and a bad side, and it's up to us as responsible Muslims to steer towards the good side and stay away from the bad side. Then, we learned how to protect ourselves from the evils of the internet by acknowledging that Allah is all-seeing and by staying true to our identity as Muslims. Finally, we learned how to grow ourselves our very own virtue farm by sharing beneficial knowledge through social media. I think that's all I can say in this occasion. I hope that this speech would be beneficial to you all fi dunya wal akhirah. Thank you all so very much for paying attention, and remember, there is nothing wrong with being a good person. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.